All right, Taylor.
Yes.
So Taylor, where are you from?
So I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised, North Side.
The north side of Houston? I'm so sorry to hear that.
Hi.
Yeah.
So you must be South
Yeah,
Side.
you already know
Okay.
Taylor.
What part?
I grew up in A-Leaf actually.
Okay.
So, I hear a lot of stories. So I lived like 1 year in Greenspoint.
Okay.
And my mom's car got stolen twice in Greenspoint. All right.
I believe you.
So what was it like growing up for you in Northside Houston at
Well,
that time?
let's see. North Side of Houston. So I stayed by Bush Airport. So near
Okay.
that area, around 59.
Is that near Woodlands area?
More close to Humble.
More close to
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I grew up in a more Hispanic predominant neighborhood, so like the barrio, yeah.
Say it again?
The barrio.
The barrio.
The barrio. Yeah, so I grew up there mostly. And then going to school, all of my schools were in Acres Home, so 4-4.
Oh,
You know what
damn.
that's at?
Yeah, I do
Yes,
know. I do
yes.
know
So
where that's at.
all of my schools were there. My church was there. So I was really forming a community within the hood, but
Yeah.
then my outside life, I was in a different neighborhood. So I got a chance to see both sides. So Hispanic culture, and then also like, being around more so African Americans in
Yeah.
Acres Home. So it was
Yeah.
pretty nice. A good experience. I don't have any complaints.
So a lot of people may say the opposite, right? It's hard growing up in a neighborhood like that. It can be very tough and things. But you don't have any, did you have those same sentiments? Or were you rather, was it that you were protected when you were growing up? Or you were just able to get along with everybody?
That's a good point. So I feel like I was a little bit more sheltered growing up. My parents are older, so I'm 27 right now. My dad is 70.
Oh, you in
so
your prime right now.
yeah, my
I was
dad
like,
is
why
70
your breast
right
smell
now.
like the baby formula? And I'm
What?
I'm kidding.
Anyways,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so my parents were older, and so I wouldn't say necessarily shelter me,
Yeah.
but I didn't have as much freedom as I probably would have if I had younger parents.
What do you mean by that?
So I don't know. I feel like learning how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I think I was maybe 6 or 7. Like I didn't learn like everyone else did. Like around 3 or 4 years old. Like I was just a little slower when it comes to certain things because of their age. Like they're at a certain point where they probably tired, burnt out
Sure.
themselves. So
Sure.
having a younger child is like, what can I do with you?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I would say I would be a little more sheltered with. But other than that, no.
So growing up in that environment, you did say that you grew up around Latinos. So growing up, the way that you grew up,
Yeah.
what's one thing that you really appreciate about that the environment gave you?
Okay, well, I feel like we definitely have a lot of similarities in our culture in African American and Latino communities, for sure.
Oh, how so? That's
When
really
it
cool.
comes to facing, day-to-day traumas with our community, or being under oppression, capitalism, all of those different things, I do feel like we have some similarities in that aspect. However, I do feel like it can be prejudice within communities as well. So like Latinos having prejudice against Black people. For an example, when I was growing up, I had a neighbor. I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but we grew up really close. We were like, I guess you can say, best friends.
Yeah.
And then like age progressed, as we started to get older, she started to act a little different, and I never understood why. Like, okay, why is she acting
changed
funny?
up on you?
Yeah, all of a sudden. And so my dad had to explain to me, like, it's not you. Like, it may not be anything that you're doing necessarily. It may be maybe her culture or how she views you might have changed.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to work with that, especially like as we got older. Of course, I would still speak to her and stuff like that, but we weren't as close. So maybe she started to notice that there are differences amongst us. As well as the high school that I attended, it was predominantly Hispanic as well. It was only about like 5 African Americans in my graduating class. So I learned, like I said, a lot about their culture, but I also experienced some prejudices as well.
How did that
Yeah.
make you feel, seeing like your friend, like you're learning, you're growing
Yeah.
up, and your friends now changing up on you. Now the innocence of your child is seeing,
Right.
damn, like you judging me based off my color of my skin, my
Right.
ethnicity. How did you start to digest that as you were growing up?
So it kind of challenged me and motivated me as well. At the same time, I feel like I didn't let that defeat me. Like, okay, they are small-minded, whatever they have to say about me or whatever they think, like that's on them. But I didn't let that stop me from trying to interact with people or develop my own prejudices against them, because that's not fair. You know, just because they're doing it to me doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do it to them. So that's how I view it.
A lot of times, that's the way that people go. They're like, well, if they hurt me, I'm
Right.
gonna hurt them back, right? So
Yes.
what stopped you from going down that path?
Whew, that's a good question. Well, I feel like I already have enough battles within myself and things that I experience on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis that I really just don't have time for that. Like, okay, I notice it and we just gonna move on. I will address it if I need to. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel like it's bothering me, then yes,
Yeah.
I will, confront it. But I have personal things that I have to work through on a day-to-day basis, so I don't really have the space for it.
So going back to your childhood, how did you grow up? I mean, again, you grew up on the north side. What did the family home look like? What did family look
Oh,
like?
you getting deep, because this is stuff that I'm healing right now.
Okay.
So.
Okay. If there's anything
Yes.
that you don't feel comfortable with sharing and limiting it, please, you have your safe space. That you wanna
Thank you.
hear
I
from.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, like I mentioned before, my parents were older. My mother had me at 36. My father was 45 when my mother
Wow.
had me. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think there's a 9-year age gap on their part. And then I was the youngest. So I have 2 older sisters, but we all have different fathers. So I guess you can say I was raised kind of like an only child. You can say that.
Because they were much older.
Right,
When you
20
say
years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, so my oldest sister is 46, and then the other one is 45. So they're closer in age, and then there's me 20 years later.
They're basically your parents at it.
Right.
It can be,
Yes.
or an older auntie or something like that.
Yes, my
Yeah.
second sister, she was graduating from high school around the same time that I was born.
Wow.
So yeah.
Me and my sister, I have a 16 years age gap between
okay.
me and my baby sister. But luckily for me, I'm childish as hell. So
Typically boys
yeah,
are.
so wow.
No shade, no shade.
Tell us what you think about
No shade,
male
but
sex,
typically, yeah.
But so me being goofy as I am, it's not hard to bond with her, and she's 14 now. She's about to be 15 at the end of the month.
Okay.
So
She's just starting high school, 9th grade?
yes.
Okay.
And so, but she's going through puberty too. So
That's a big change.
the teenage girl phase. So now I'm kind of losing her, but at the same time, she still lets me know she's there for me.
She's still in touch.
A different way, of course. So for you basically grew up like an only child, as you said.
Yes.
Was that lonely for you?
Not really, because during my childhood, I kind of stayed busy. So I
Yeah.
was a part of a dance company.
Yeah.
I think I joined, what was that, around 5th grade? I joined a dance company, so I did like ballet, tap,
You were
jazz,
dancing?
African. Yes. I used to do more professional dance, but now I don't do that anymore. But that was, but I still got some of my technique.
But it's been part of your life.
Yes, it's been part of my life.
Sure.
Yes, and so I always stayed busy like during the summers, and then also I had nieces. So all of my nieces were like 3 years apart. So I'm 27. My oldest niece, I believe she's like 23, going on 24 this
Okay.
year, and then my youngest niece, she'll be turning 21 in January.
The fact that
So-
y'all are the same.
Right, it's like we're cousins at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
It's no niece, like
Yeah.
no auntie niece thing.
right,
It's really
exactly.
cousins. So although I guess you can say alone for like 3 years, and then they started to come into play. So it didn't necessarily feel like I was lonely.
So they were like your siblings, pretty much.
Kind of, sort of,
You
yes.
had an age children in your family that you could talk to, relate with, etc. bond
Right,
with. Okay.
exactly. And then also forming communities on my dance team. Like we spent summers together rehearsing. So yeah, I was always occupied. Like it wasn't a dry moment for me.
So your typical childhood day, what did it look like when you were growing up? Let's say from 8 to 12 years old, ish around there. What did like a typical day
I would go
look
to
like?
school.
Yeah.
And then after school,
Yeah.
I would get bused to the dance company because it was a part of my district. So I was in Aldine ISD, and so I was a part of Aldine Dance Company.
Okay.
So I danced for the district, and so we would get bused to Carver High School after school. And so we would be for rehearsal, I think for maybe about 3 hours or so. Then after rehearsal, my parents would come and pick me up, and then they'll take me home, and then I'll get ready for the next day. So it was kind of like a routine, like I had stuff going on. You know,
Yeah.
like if someone was a part of like AAU or something like that, similar.
So you were always doing something, accomplishing something.
Right.
What do you think that mindset, or garnering that mindset when you were growing up of always accomplishing something, what kind of effect did it have on you now as an adult?
I feel like it's made me a perfectionist, honestly. I'm never satisfied.
It's not good, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm always working, and it's great that you're asking these questions because I was reflecting on that as well the other day. Like, my childhood really reflects my adulthood. Like, I'm always occupied, I'm always doing something. Like, for an example, I'm a teacher, and typically they tell teachers, like, okay, once your time is up at work, you know, try to leave work at home, work at the job.
Yeah.
But I end up taking it home. Like, here I am at the coffee shop with you working. Sometimes I'll put in till 7 p.m. and then go home and then get ready for the next day. So I've always been like that. It's made me very independent as well. I don't feel like I have a lot of people to depend on. Honestly, I don't feel like I have anybody to depend on. So, and that stems to childhood as well. So back to your original question of how I grew up.
Well, hold on now.
Oh, okay.
Because
I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize.
Yeah.
You just hit something very interesting. Like you said, it's very hard for you to depend on people, and as well, you also clarified that you don't have anybody to depend on. But my question to you, Taylor, is do you even give people a chance to be there for you so that you can depend on them?
And that's a good point. Let me meditate on that.
Listen, let me go get the incense. Let me get the non-champa. The non-champa.
The chance is yes and no.
Okay.
I will say I try initially, but then I would, I guess you can say the emotion of fear comes up. And I feel like this person might let me down, so my guard is up, and then I'll be like, "Oh, never mind, I got it. Like I'll do it on my own." Like I would deflect, if
Where
that
does
makes
that fear
sense.
come from?
Being disappointed.
Who disappointed you that started it all? No, I mean, was it an accumulation, or would you say it was one person in particular that the impact was just so grand that you just it affected everything else moving forward?
So stemming back to my childhood, I feel like it was more so the dynamic between my parents. I would say that my mother was the person that I could depend on at most. When it came to my father at times, he was present, he was there, but when it came to certain things like providing, or if I asked for a favor or anything of that nature, he would just be like, "Oh, I can't do it," or "I don't have it." Like, it will always be an excuse. So I would get uncomfortable with asking because I know that I'm not going to get what I need in return. So that's why I don't even bother asking anymore, if that makes sense. Like, I'll just be like, "Oh, well, I'll find my own, solution. I'll find my own way," if that makes sense.
So you're saying that your father's actions and always turning you down ruined it for everybody else that you could have leaned on when you needed it?
Possibly, yes. I wouldn't say ruined because it is a possibility that it can change, but it does make it uncomfortable for me.
So when have you stepped out of your comfort zone?
Oh, I've attempted. I've attempted. I haven't successfully done it, but I have attempted. I try to start with just little things like asking for help on my job because that's where I am mostly. So, like I said, I like to do things on my own. So just me asking for assistance or, giving people small favors, I guess. That's a
little
good starting point. Yes, little tasks.
Like a little mouse. That's crazy.
But I mean, essentially, like when you have that, trauma or have that deal breaker within your mind, then you do have to start small in order to work up to something big. with, like within a relationship, or now with friendships, I feel like I'm working with that as well, like being more open. That can help as well. But with relationships, that's a work in progress.
So we'll get to that, but I want to get back to you and your relationship with your father. If you had to describe your father to somebody who'd never spoken to him or seen him, how would you best describe your father?
I would definitely say he is a wise man when it comes to giving advice on life, or how to navigate certain things, or being an entrepreneur, being a person that works for themselves. He's a photographer, so he started his own, and he had his own studio in the back of our house, so it was nice experiences with that. I would say he's definitely a God-fearing man. So he's a man of the book, of the Bible. So he definitely instilled that in me throughout my childhood, and it definitely has carried me a long way throughout my adulthood as well. But I can also say, or I wouldn't necessarily say the cons, but I can also say that he's still healing as well. Like, although he's 70, I can tell throughout my childhood when I was experiencing those things from him, it was also because he didn't heal from things that happened in his childhood. So he didn't learn about his father until he was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Right. And so now looking at that as a grown-up, it's changed my perception of him, because it's just like, well, dang, he really doesn't know how to do fatherly things in some aspects, because he didn't have anyone there for him to, actually show him those characteristics or those roles that you would want to see in your father.
Does that mean that the understanding of that helped you take away accountability from your father, or how did you navigate that exactly for the things that he wasn't able to provide for you that you needed when you were growing up?
I don't think I would necessarily say take accountability, but it definitely makes you have more empathy for him.
Okay.
So, I guess seeing it from his perspective, trying to put yourself into his shoes. That's what I would say. But I would definitely say it also made me say, okay, well, Taylor, you are accountable for your emotions. Like, we know the truth. We know why. We can hold him accountable for what he did and didn't do, but now you are accountable for how you navigate your relationship with him and how do you move forward. Because you can't be mad at him all your life.
Right.
Like, you have to take some accountability for yourself.
That's right.
So, I feel like everyone has their share.
So, being that you kind of experienced these things with your father, he didn't show up in certain ways, be it because when he was a kid, unfortunately, he went through things that he didn't heal from, like you said. How do you think personally that your relationship with your father now affected or has affected your relationship with men now as you're a 27-year-old woman?
A lot, I would say. Currently, I'm single, so I'm not in a relationship. I don't have any, flings, anything like that.
The inbox blowing up right now.
No. Anything. Like, when I tell you phone is dry, dry. And I'm okay with it
You're
now.
Okay with
I'm
it?
fine with that.
Okay.
But I guess you can say in the past, speaking past tense, it definitely has affected in regards to one, not really having a serious relationship. I feel like I've encountered a lot of situationships. Also, if I feel like I'm receiving like his, or I wouldn't say aura, but not his spirit, but something similar to him, like his vibe. If I feel like, oh, you remind me too much of my father, then it will start to disconnect for me.
It's just downhill from there. Like you just notice one thing and then you just start running.
It's a trigger for me. Like certain things.
Like what?
Triggers
Like
me.
what would a man do or men do at that time that would trigger you?
Oh Lord.
And make you defensive,
If I receive a sign that you aren't dependable, and it's not just with me, not financially or anything, but just in any aspect of you not being a person that I can depend on, or if I feel like there's no connection. Like, you just feel like you're you and I'm me. If there's nothing that's bringing us together, then it's not gonna work.
What is a genuine connection? Because let me ask you: have you just said you've only had situationships this past week? When did you have an actual healthy relationship that you can go back to and compare to the ones that weren't good?
Well, the relationships that I have had, because like I said, I've had mostly situationships, right? I've had maybe one.
Yeah.
I can't count high school. I really don't count high school. That was a relationship before.
You're a child. at
Yeah,
that time.
exactly.
Yeah.
College, I had a relationship, but
Okay.
it wasn't healthy. So when you're asking for like a healthy,
So you're
steady
telling me you
relationship
never had one?
that I consider healthy, no.
Yeah. So then, how can you? What are you calling back to then? You know, what point of reference are you calling back to if you never had one with men specifically that you can
What do you
compare?
mean point of
Okay,
reference?
so like you said, when I don't feel a proper connection, the energy, like, you know, but when did you ever have it to begin with?
So I mean, I feel like when it first starts off, yes, you are building that.
Okay.
You feel, the connection and stuff like that. But I guess more so when it starts to drift apart. Like, if I don't know how to explain it.
Do your best, please.
Um,
Because I'm trying to understand you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm trying to put it into perspective for you. Let's say, okay, let's refer back to one of my relationships in college. I guess you can go to that one. So what turned me off about him,
We'll call him Billy.
Billy,
Yeah.
was that it was a lot of talk and no action. Yes.
He wasn't a man of his word.
No, and that was my problem with my father. He would say certain things and then wouldn't
Not
follow through
follow
with
up.
it. So I'm just thinking you all talk. So and I'm not asking for anything. I don't ask for much, and I'm gonna change that as well because I feel like you should ask for more. If you want more in order to receive, you must ask for it. So that's very valid. But during that time, I didn't ask for anything, but if you're saying you're going to do these things, whether it's for a relationship or just a favor for me, and you don't follow through with it, and I didn't ask for you to do it, and you just talking out the side of your neck, then I'm just like, okay, yeah. Like, this is not going to work because you can't hold up your end of the stick. Like, this is what you said, so.
Understand.
Yeah.
And how do you go about addressing that, or do you even communicate? Like, is your communication to the point where it's maybe Billy says something like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take you out to eat tomorrow. And then he says, yeah, it's busy. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. And he just keeps that up with other, maybe even things about himself. Maybe he says, you know what? I'm not going to drink for a month. And then he picks up a drink.
Been in that situation.
So how do you personally go about addressing that, or do you just let it go until it gets to a point where you just walk away?
Okay, so I'm more of the second option.
Okay.
I'll let it go until it builds up, and then I'm just like, okay, I can't take it anymore. The first guy, Billy, in college, I feel like I was still immature. I was still young. I was like 17, and he was older as well. And I feel like guys that are older, they do try to, manipulate you a little bit more.
You think so?
Oh, yes, I do.
We're going to get into that, so please go ahead.
I do feel like they try to manipulate or train you in a sense.
Okay.
And that was his way of trying to manipulate me, like saying things and not following through, and I guess probably trying to see how I would respond to it. And so I would just let it go and wouldn't say anything until I couldn't take it anymore. So I feel like now, like getting older, I'm learning to like speak up more for myself, because I feel like to hold myself accountable, like there's been situations where I've been a little passive. So that's my downfall. Like, okay, I'm waiting out to see what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna say anything, but then when it's done, it's done. And I don't feel like that's fair. Like I should be able to communicate like, hey, I didn't like this here,
I agree.
Yeah, working on my communication skills is definitely
Yeah,
something.
I mean, look, if I was dealing with a girl and I was messing up in certain areas, I would want her to be able to feel comfortable,
Right.
and also be able to talk to me and say, hey, look, baby, you did this, and
Right.
it made me feel like this, and I just want to let you know that because I want this to work out.
And you said the key word, comfortable, though.
Yes.
I honestly, I didn't feel comfortable. It's not many, I would say it's a couple of relationships or situationships that I've been in that I felt comfortable, but a lot of them I didn't feel genuinely comfortable to express
Really?
myself.
Wow.
Yes, and that could also be a problem as well, because sometimes men can honestly be overpowering.
What do you mean by that?
Like, well, the guys that I've dealt with,
See, I bet you got a type 2, Taylor.
but I also feel like, that's
Anyways, but so overpowered. No, hold on. We're gonna talk about your type.
What
I know you got a
type?
type. I know you got a type.
What do you think is my type?
Listen.
What do you think is my type?
Listen.
Now I do like, I like alpha male.
Yeah.
Like I like that energy. I do like for guys to take over in a sense, in some aspects, but I don't want you to be too overpowering to where it's not enough room for me either. Like some guys, like let's say we're out and everything is just about you. Like you're just constantly talking about yourself. You don't ask anything about me. Like I'm just here listening. And then if I throw in something about me, you'll resort it back to you. You know, like
brush it off.
yes, I'm
Right.
very big on communication, and I watch how people communicate with other people.
Okay.
So if it's not a A, if it's just A, I'm gonna shut down because that's how I used to be taught to by my father as well. It was more so him like preaching at me or just constantly talking, and I never got a chance to share myself. So that also stems back to my childhood. So a lot of things with relationships and communication stems back to what I used to experience. And if I don't feel comfortable or if you don't create that space for me, then I'm gonna shut you out.
Do you think that it's cheating if you give a guy a blueprint to succeed? Because I've heard some women say that you don't want to tell a guy what you need because then they try to play chameleon and pretend.
Yes.
But then at the same time, if you don't really communicate the things that you need, then you're setting somebody up for failure too.
That is true.
So then, how do you go about it personally?
I honestly like that idea. At first I was like that the first thing that you said where you were like, oh, that just tells them everything and they'll just try to switch up and try to play the role for you. But learning it from perspective, because my oldest sister, she's married, and I remember like she told me like, hey, I had to tell my now husband what I like, the flowers that I want, and you know, just to be more specific and direct so they won't be lost in case they are trying to figure it out themselves. So I do feel like that's definitely fair for a man to get that information, and I would want the same thing from him as well. Like, how do I communicate to you? What do you need? Because I'm a server. Like, I believe in that. Like, you serving each other. So it has to be both ends.
Reciprocal. You know, yeah, it's true. I see it as everybody speaks love languages very differently, receives love very differently. And I think that giving somebody the opportunity to say, okay, look, I'm going to give you the chance. This is what I need. If somebody consistently shows up with their actions and they give you that means that they truly care.
I agree.
Nobody could just read your mind, in my opinion, and just
That is true.
out of nowhere, just like it can happen that somebody speaks exactly the way that you need it, but the pool of that is going to be super small. You're going to be constantly disappointed, and not because this person is the right person. It's because it's like taking a test and you don't even know what the test's about. You know, you don't even know what
studied the
there's
material.
there's nothing to study. You know, it's just, hey, here you go.
No preparation.
Exactly. So, when was the last time that you went on a date with a guy? Because you said that you've been by yourself for a little minute now, right? So when was the last time that you went on a date with a guy?
Ooh. Let's see.
15 years ago.
No, don't do that.
Before the war.
No, I think it's been like, okay, what do you mean by date? Because I feel like there's different levels.
Somebody that you genuinely were interested in, and they were in you, and it was like you opening up to them and seeing where it could go.
Oh, okay.
Not somebody that you were just bored with, and he asked you out for a drink and you were like, well, I ain't doing nothing. I might as well
Okay.
see what it looked like, you know.
I would say maybe about a year. It's been
What
about a
happened with
year.
that?
I choose not to disclose that
Okay.
information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously it didn't go anywhere. So the healing journey, because you said and you did share that your father and your relationship with him has affected how you move with men, how your relationship with men has looked at. Where is the part where it's not your father's, but maybe it's you?
I think I kind of touched on that, being passive.
The passive aspect. So what have you done to work on that? But then again, you haven't really dated to really
Right.
practice not being passive.
So I feel like right now I'm doing a lot of reflecting, my inner reflection. So I do a lot of writing and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
I feel like that's helping me with my communication.
Okay.
Because I express a lot of my feelings and emotions on paper. So eventually I'll be able to communicate those, verbally with a partner, but also being more present with friendships. I feel like that's a good way to practice that as well when it is time for you to have a relationship. Because to me, I feel like with relationships, you always start off, well, you should start off as friends, right?
In the friend zone?
Well,
Don't do
I mean,
that.
I wouldn't say friend zone,
Yeah.
but you're trying to get to know somebody. I
So
mean,
are you saying that? Yeah. Oh.
or necessary. Well, I wouldn't say mine, but my ideal relationship, I would like for it to start off as friends, like genuinely getting to know each other first.
So you're okay. So your definition of getting to know of a friendship within dating is like they're actively trying to get to know you, spending quality time together,
Right.
bonding. Okay.
And not in a rush to solidify something.
Not like trying to be in a relationship 2 weeks into it.
Right.
So, moving away from relationship, Taylor, 'cause that's not all you're about.
No. No.
What is Taylor most passionate about in her life?
That's a good question. What am I most passionate about? So I'm honestly feeling like I'm in the point of my life where I'm trying to rediscover my passion.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What did you think your first passion was?
Ooh. Let's see. So I'm trying to separate my passion from career and what I do for a living. So I'm a teacher. I think I've already stated that. And I feel like my passion is tied into that with, working with community, working with people, because, I am pretty much helping the next generation, come out into the real world. I've always wanted to help people, so I feel like me teaching is a form of helping and also making an impact. But also, recently, I went to school to be an esthetician.
What is an esthetician?
An esthetician is a person who can perform services such as waxing. I can do lashes and then facials. My specialty, I love facials. So skincare has become my passion over the years. Growing up in high school, I struggled with really bad acne, so I had really bad breakouts. And so I've always been like a DIY person, like trying to figure out like some type of remedy or cure. Like the dermatologist would prescribe, antibiotics or some topicals, but they wouldn't last long. Like it was never a, solution based.
Yeah.
So, I've been teaching for about 6 years, I think going on 6 years. And I was like, well, let me try to do like a career change. Let me get more into my passion of creating, because I also create soaps. So I create skincare products. And so I was like, well, let me get my license in esthetician so I
Better
can
get that plug in there, tell people about
It's
yourself.
on hold right now. I don't want to plug it in, but it is called Curvey Creation.
Okay.
So you can look me up on Instagram, Curvey,
We're gonna put all your
Curvey
information
Creations. Yeah.
Yes, Curvey Creations.
Yes,
Okay.
my last name.
Okay.
And so I went to esthetician school for a year.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I met some really cool people, nice instructors, and I felt like, okay, this will be my pivot and this is my change for my career. But right now I'm experiencing a little frustration within my path because it's like, how do I make that transition? So I've already graduated. I passed my test to become an esthetician. And so now thank you.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just stuck in a season of like, okay, what are the proper steps? What can I do next? Because teaching it is a, commitment. And it's also something that's promising versus entrepreneurship. You're taking a jump and taking, a leap out on faith. And so I'm trying to work on myself, being more comfortable and not letting fear get in the way of just going after what I want. Because if it was my idea, my passion would be to probably stop teaching and focus on being an esthetician full time, servicing people with acneic skin and also creating skincare products. So that's something that I will be doing. But I'm working towards that. It's just a lot, honestly, being a high school teacher and trying to balance that. Like I let work take over a little bit, and so I'm trying to manage my time and try to balance both. But I'm also scared at the same time. So
What are you afraid of?
Failure.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Why does failure scare you, Taylor?
It's more so of like, to me, financial stability. Not gonna lie to you, because teaching, you're gonna get that check bi-weekly. You know it's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Versus entrepreneurship, you are taking risks. There is money that already, has to be invested. You're not gonna always see that return quickly. Like
Right.
it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, and I've already experienced it with selling soaps, so I already kind of know.
Have an idea.
Exactly, and
When it goes slow, it can be very
it's slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like freeze, stand still. So
But if you win big, you can win big.
that is true. That is true.
Well, let me ask you this, Taylor. Let's fast forward some years, okay?
Okay.
We're almost at the end of your life. You're old and gray. You've lived a fruitful, long life to what you think you should have, and you're at your deathbed, and you're reflecting on the path that you never took, like
Right.
going
I
down
always
that
think of
road.
this. Yes.
You chose a safe route.
I think of this all the time.
How would you feel?
I'm trying to get uncomfortable. I really am.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to be comfortable.
Yes.
It's so easy. And I always think about this. I'm like, Taylor, you have to get uncomfortable. Like, as much as it doesn't feel good to you, like, that's what you need to do in order to grow.
You were a perfectionist.
I am. And that's
Yeah.
another thing as well. Like, especially with creating products and stuff like that. Like, if I don't feel like it's where I want it to be, I'll just stop. I'll take a break from it. Won't come back to it for a while. Like, I'm that type of perfectionist. Like, if it's not what I want, then I would kind of, give it some space and then eventually come back to it. Even like, not criticism, but like, just people's opinions on certain things. Like, oh, if they like this, if they don't like that, it kind of messes with me. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, maybe they don't like it at all, but it's just feedback, So I have to work on myself in order to get myself there, because, I'm sensitive about my stuff.
You're sensitive about your thing.
Yes.
Now, we had talked about your father a little earlier, and obviously, like you strike me, Taylor, as the type of person who has a lot to give and a lot to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Who was the one individual, or maybe it could be multiple people, that you would say left the biggest impression on you, and what the biggest influences on you in a positive way?
In a positive way.
Yes.
The biggest impression, I would say my mother for sure.
Who's your mom?
My mother, Sandra Curvey, she is a phenomenal woman, I will say. I feel like a good word to describe her is triumphant. Like, despite all of the things that she went through, she's still able to prevail. And even though she's going through things right now, like, she's still pushing through them.
Blessings to your mother.
Yes, thank you. Blessings to her. Definitely having to take care of my sisters, and their father wasn't present, so she took care of that. She held that down, and then along with me, although my father was present, it was still her
Rocky
like holding
relationship,
it down again.
right,
So, but yeah, and she's done a lot for me. So she's always been there. And although like my father, like we've had our, spats or whatever, it's not, I don't feel like he's left an impression, because he definitely has.
Good.
With definitely my perspective on life and like how to navigate, and really spiritual connections like to the higher power, like just really tap me into those type of, avenues. But I will say there are some parts, we could have worked a little bit more on, but and also I would say my teachers. I had some really good teachers.
Name drop.
One teacher, she already knows this, but her name is Miss Graham.
Yeah.
She was my English teacher.
What grade were you in?
10th grade.
Okay.
Yes. And she really inspired me. She really got me into literature, which is how I ended up being a teacher. I teach English, so I went to Sam for English with a minor in secondary education, and I actually teach at the high school that I graduated from. So I teach at my alma mater. So yeah,
By
she
the
was.
gram. She didn't do cocaine, did she? Same.
No. She was really nice
Okay.
though.
I'm just being so childish. I told you it was gonna be childish.
It's okay. You
So,
fine.
27, 37, 10 years, a decade.
Ooh.
What
do I think?
If Taylor could draw and be the artist of her, which you can, but the things that you do have control over, the things that you can't control, sometimes you gotta let them be.
Right, take his course.
But the things that you can control, and if you could control, what would your life look like in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I think I would like to move out of Houston.
Damn,
So,
you hate this city so much.
No, I've been here all my life.
Trash ass city.
No, I actually love Houston.
I'm just kidding, yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people grow when they really move to other places.
Yeah.
A real true evolution. But I would move to DC if I had the choice.
The DMV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would love to be in the Chocolate City. And there I would probably I would speak it into existence. I would be an esthetician full time.
Yes.
And I will have my products, and that will be my life pretty much. In regards to relationship or like marriage or kids, I am open to that, but I don't want to, say like, oh, I want to be married and I want to have 3 kids by then, because.
But this is your life, though.
Yeah.
You're painting the picture.
That's true.
Is that what you want? Is that where you see yourself, or what does it look like?
Ooh, honestly.
Don't be scared about it.
Honestly, I don't know, because right now in my life, I've been doing a lot of reflecting of what would my life look like if I didn't have a partner. Because when I was younger, I used to be so obsessed with, getting married and having kids and stuff like that. But now, as I'm getting older, I'm accepting my reality of that not being a part of my life at all. But if it were to happen, then yes, I would like to be married, maybe have 1 kid. That's good enough for me. 1 is good. Yes.
What's one thing that people misunderstand most about you, Ted?
Well, I feel like I'm misunderstood all around. So I
You made sure to say that. You like, first of all, people got it wrong with me. Let me just say that.
Well, I mean, yes, the people who get it. The people who don't.
So what do people go wrong with you?
Well, with me, not necessarily I don't match energy, but I kind of give what's given out. So like whatever you give me is what I'm gonna give you. I guess that is kind of like matching energy. And then some people will take offense to it, and it's just like, well, I'm trying to see what type of time you're on today, because I don't want to be up here and then you're down here. Like, I don't want to cause any friction, so I'm just trying to meet you where you are. And then some people don't like that, and I'm just like, I'm reflecting you. So it's like, well, you don't like yourself at this point because that's what I'm giving off.
Well, some people, they lack the inability to self-reflect like that and notice, like, okay, they may be coming off a little strong or a little asshole-ish, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And you're just returning and reflecting that energy that they give you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I might not try to be as nasty, but yeah. And then also too, I have a resting face. Like some people think I'm very mean, but I'm really nice. Like when you talk to me, we can sit down, chop it up.
I don't know. I saw you mean mug a couple of people.
No, I think you being
You
messy.
sneered.
Did I?
This lady walked by you.
Locked
You was
in.
like,
Maybe I was doing that
know,
as something
Taylor.
else.
I
But
don't know. No.
yeah.
So you would say you got an RBF, and they don't approach you because of that, or
Yeah.
they're hesitant to walk up
Yes,
to you?
hesitant or like try to talk to me very bashful. Like, oh, I'm like, just be normal. Like, just talk.
So I'm
Intimidated.
I mean,
or,
at work, you're not a little more stricter, you know, because you're with high school kids.
Yes. So when I need to, I am. Yes. I will
So
get
what's
strict.
your on the clock, Taylor? Like what is
On the clock, Taylor?
Yeah.
I'm friendly.
Okay.
I can be very friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'll always greet you. Like we'll talk. I'll try to make small talk conversation. If I see that you don't want to be bothered, then I'm not going to continue to hassle you or try to make you talk to me. I just left for them to warm up, and eventually, they'll come out their shell. But if they cross the lines, then yes, I'm going to have to get them to my bag and my strong demeanor. I'm going to have to be very assertive with you. Yes.
Is Taylor easy to forgive?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like I'm easy to forgive.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, is it easy for me to forgive other people? That's something I'm working on.
What do you mean by that?
I can be,
Yeah.
I can be stubborn at times.
Okay.
It's like I forgive, but I definitely won't forget. And that memory will definitely come back into my mind, and I'll try to shoo it away. Like, oh, they didn't mean it. But remember that time when they did cross you? Like that's what goes on in my mind. So, yeah,
So
I'm working on it.
Do you let it go? I mean, it sounds like you don't let it go, but like you forgive it. But does that mean that moving forward, that happening, even though you forgave it, still affects what can be in the future? And whether that be with partners and relationships or friendships, professionally, whatever it is.
I mean, professionally, I have to let it go a little bit quicker because I am working with children.
Yes.
And I can't hold grudges towards them because then that can affect their learning and how they feel about me in the classroom. So I do try to let it go. And some of them, they have grudges towards me and they act a certain way, but I can't change that. I can't change your mind about me. So that's just what it is. I'm sure we've all had a teacher that we felt somewhere about. So that's fine. I'm that villain in your story.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fine by me. I'm still getting my sleep at night. But
I'll be the bad guy.
right, I'll be the bad guy. But it was only for good intention.
Yeah.
So it's how you take it. But what was the original? I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked. What was the question that you proposed?
Don't let me forget. Hold on.
Oh, can I let go? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
We'll just say yes.
Yes, okay.
I'm gonna laugh when I watch this back.
So
because,
yes, I think that's what it was. I can let
Okay.
go when it comes to the students, but as far as other people,
friendships, relationships.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm working on that. Yes, I'm letting go more. I feel I'm letting go more.
Is that scary?
Um,
Just doing those things that you don't do. You stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing it, like letting go, right?
yeah, definitely, because I feel like I like to be in control.
Yeah, we know that.
And that's the problem. It's a problem. Like, it's okay to be controlled, but it's giving control freak. And that's where it really starts to affect your life. So I know I'm accountable for my downfalls. Yes, I know that can be a problem. So I'm working on forgiving. Even like when it comes down to parenting and stuff like that, just accepting them as a human. Like, they're an adult. They went through things, right? So although they're your parent, that's their title, they're still human. They still make mistakes. So you have to forgive them and move on. So that's what I've been learning. I'm forgiving.
Forgive me.
Yes, but I don't forget. That's just, my memory is pretty good.
So what have you forgiven yourself in?
Ooh. I've forgiven myself. I feel like I've forgiven myself when it comes to not showing myself grace, I will say.
It's a big one. I've been guilty of that too.
Yes. especially with that perfectionist mentality, it's kind of hard. But I've been working on that, trying to slow down because my mind is always going. And I move quick too, so that doesn't help. I'm trying to stay more present and in the moment. So showing myself grace in small things like that, that's what I'm working on. Forgiving myself.
If you could go back to a 14-year-old version of you,
Okay.
you can only say one piece of advice and then you disappear. But you will hold on to that. You'll forget a lot of things. I'm sure you forgot a lot of things when you were 14, right? You don't remember every single
Right,
thing.
I don't remember everything.
But what's one thing that you would remember if you could go back and tell yourself one thing?
One thing I would remember. That's a good question. If I could tell my 14-year-old self, give me a
14-year-old,
second,
you take your
hold
time.
on.
Take your time, Taylor Gang. Take your time.
I would definitely say it may sound cliche or people may have heard of this, but definitely live your life for yourself and do the things that you want to do initially, even at 14. Because I know that's around the age where our minds get molded the most. When you're in high school, they're pressuring college, they're pressing you to do this, do that. Give yourself time to think and actually reflect on what you want to do, how you want to show up in the world. Because it is rushed, especially in the environment that I'm in or what I experienced in high school. I was at an early college, so we had to figure things out quick because you already graduating with your associate's degree and then hopping into a university, you're already a junior. So you don't have as much playtime or, exploration time. So definitely I would say do exactly what you want to do. Yes.
Do exactly what you want to do.
Exactly what you, if it's an idea that you really want to happen, if you are really passionate about it, just go for it. Don't hinder yourself. Because I feel like I've experienced a lot of personal hindrance from different opportunities and actually being where I could have been a couple of years ago versus where I am now.
Like what?
I feel like if I had the time to really think in high school and actually plan and figure out what I wanted to do, I don't think I would have been a teacher at all. Initially in high school, I wanted to do hair because I was always good at hair. I did my own hair. We weren't poor. I guess you can say lower middle class. So I didn't have money to go get my hair done all the time. Like I would just always, play in the mirror. I would do crochet, sew in, like you name it. I would do it on myself or I would do it on my mother. And then I was kind of dissuaded from that because I was already getting an associate's degree. So people are like, oh, you need to go to college. You don't need to go to cosmetology school. That's 2 years. But that's something that I was passionate about, creative. Like I'm good with my hands. So I should have, tapped into that skill. Like if I would have done that, I probably would have had a salon by now, So I definitely feel like people should go initially with what they want to do instead of spending their life backtracking and trying to get back to that childhood, to that, adolescence, that innocence to where you were creative and had clear ideas. Because that's what I feel like adults do now. Like that's what they're trying to find. They're trying to tap back into their self, their childlike abilities and what they used to have interest in. They spend their adulthood doing that now. Well, why don't you just use it when it's given to you? So I feel like that's important.
So Taylor, we've hit about an hour now.
Dang. We just been talking.
Believe it or not, it's been about an hour. And the way that I like to end any of my conversations is I always like to ask the person that I'm speaking to end it with either one thing that they want to share to the people. That could be something deep. It could be something not deep. It could be maybe a quote. It could be something that you just want to share internally, that you just want people to know, or that you just want to say out loud to yourself. What would you like to say?
Ooh. You giving me free range. That's a lie.
Now don't go tell kids to do heroin, okay? That's not. You know,
Oh no, don't do drugs.
jacking radios. I don't even people do that no more. You know,
No,
hubcaps. You know,
they don't know nothing about that.
right.
I would definitely say that no matter what you do, show up as your authentic self. Yes, in any situation. So never shy away from who you are or try to diminish your light to make other people feel comfortable. So, yeah, that's it. That's all this is.
It's deep.
I guess you can say that, but yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting this today. This was dope.
I love that, Taylor. My leg went to sleep.